Hi, folks. Welcome to another episode of The Mind of the Martyr. Um, Everything is fine.
Jesse, come back.
God damn it. This is why
Jesse, come back.
this is why I don't do tech. Yeah, Jesse is off today, resting up, catnapping, doing whatever they need to do. Yeah, we are down a cleric, unfortunately, today, but the train will keep on rolling. As you would have seen, we have a wonderful Dice Envy spot, sponsorship spot done by Adam. It's wonderful, but there are a couple of other people that help keep us going as well. One of those are the wonderful folks at Grinding Coffee, a black LGBT plus owned coffee company, who I believe are beginning to branch into tea. Hey, yes, there's been a lot of teasers for Christmas flavors coming up. It's November, but I understand, you gotta do the hustle. Yeah, they're gonna be branching into teas at some point soon, which is gonna be super exciting. You should definitely go ahead and check them out. They have a whole bunch of various different blends that you can give a go, various different flavors, and if you're not entirely sure or just are indecisive, there are also sample packs where you can grab a little bit of basically everything if you really wanted to. Go ahead and type in FWRD at checkout for some money off your order. That goes towards helping us, and that's Grinding Coffee Co. You should definitely check them out. Also, we are a Roll20 Spotlight partnered stream here. Roll20 is a fantastic online toolset that allows you to bring your pen and paper games to the real world. They have all sorts of various different tools, from simple things like HP trackers, an initiative tracking counter, all the way up to realistic dynamic lighting, spell effects, you name it, they have it. Yeah, you should definitely go ahead and check them out as well at roll20.net. You can sign up for free and go ahead and use some of the facilities, or you can pay for a pro subscription, which will get you a whole bunch of bonus features. And there are also full games on the marketplace, as well as tokens, maps, and other assets that you might require. It is a wonderfully handy thing to have, especially if you are British and have a ton of friends in the USA. Speaking from experience. Yeah, definitely go ahead and check them out. Roll20. This is how we roll. And with that being said, let's go ahead and move into the episode itself proper. We didn't talk about it beforehand, so I'm just going to spring it on people. Did anyone want to go ahead and give a brief recap of what happened last session to the wonderful folks watching?
We went to the Vale because Gwendolyn took us there. We met another Enkaima named Thistle. Orin and Jacaranda went for a swim. We saw skeletons just meandering about. And Dawan was doing some medical research and found her grandmother, who, that's all we know about Dawan's grandmother. Because we left off with them hugging.
We did indeed.
That's basically all that happened.
So you found yourselves thrust into the Verdant Vale, a place of calm and tranquility that is very good at loosening the joints, loosening the muscles, and just leaving you in a state of peace, real peace. You had a little meander around, getting used to everything. You did indeed go for a dip real quick, and as Dawan was searching for people who may be able to update her medical knowledge as such, you ended up stumbling into, indeed, Dawan's grandmother. As we left off, they were just embracing tight, and they go ahead and let go of Dawan and turn around. Just, I assume these are friends of yours? Kind of gestures quite warmly towards you all. Just a pleasure. Are you doing well? Do you require refreshments, drink, tea, snacks, bandages, anything of the like? Anything I could supply?
Wouldn't say
Tea
no
is
to
always welcome.
a cup of tea, yeah.
Wonderful. Let me just get that going real quick. And they'll wander over to... they'll actually wander over to one of the Bunsen burners, and you notice they reach down into a little pouch to the side of them, and they pull out this little... This quite simple, but quite, like, quaint and quite pretty little teapot. Very traditional. And go ahead and fill it with some things from their bag. Leave it on the top there. Pour some water in. Turn towards you all as they're doing so. Just... I'm very sorry. I didn't manage to catch your names.
Oh, my name's Oren.
Hi, I'm Jacaranda.
Wonderful.
Mara would turn to Dewan. Cat got your tongue? And then turn around. I'm Mara Katani.
How dare you? They'll smile, just wonderful. Mara, Oren, Jacaranda, it is an absolute pleasure. I am Nene. I am, well, as you have probably just worked out, Dewan here is my granddaughter. It's been quite a while since I've seen them. It's good to see you again. They'll nod and smile at Dewan for referencing you. I don't mean to sound rude, but how does the Veil find you? How did you end up here?
We were brought here.
Gwendolyn
Yes.
brought us.
So you're the one. All right, wonderful. In that
Apparently.
case-
We don't
Apparently,
really know what it
we have-
means
Yeah.
yet. Why we're here?
Seems that everybody else does except for us.
Sorry, it is kind of a tradition of ours to keep ourselves to ourselves until that information is required. You never know the disposition of people you might meet. Forgive our rudeness, it is not our intention. None of us. Well, maybe a couple of us. Regardless, it's good you're here. In that case, she'll begin rifling through her bag. She pulls out these long, thin strips of almost coloured gauze, like a gauzy, fabric. They pull out. It's very clearly been dipped and anointed with various different medicinal objects, as well as some kind of like oils and things. They've been soaked pretty much through the entire gauze. They pull them out and just, alright, one for you, Dewan, and one for Mara, one for Oren, one for Jacaranda. I got that right? Good. You will need these shortly. Hold on to them for now. You won't need them just yet, but soon you'll need them.
Will Shikari need one? And Shikari's standing in the door just looking in.
She looks down and just, why aren't you gorgeous? She'll drop to her knees, and kind of, may I? Looking up towards you, Mara.
You can ask him.
All right, wonderful. I wanted to make sure it wasn't some kind of service creature. That's all.
No. He is my friend and guardian, but he is his own person.
She nods, looks towards Shikari. You hear her suddenly do a quite high-pitched collection of growls underneath, kind of like through a closed mouth. Sorry. There's a few little like clicks and things mixed in there as Shikari then seems to respond by just kind of moving himself a little bit cautiously forwards. She slides a hand across his head and just starts beginning to pet him a little bit. I don't think Hikari will need one, no. While a magnificent creature and a wonderful companion, I'm sure, probably won't be required.
Okay.
So you were saying that you hadn't been told anything. Again, I am very sorry about that. But let me go ahead and attempt to enlighten you a little bit. You were requested by one member of the Brightscale family, Nawi is her name, requested to assist in a little endeavor, I suppose. Something to help her in her current task. She also knows that you're currently in a bit of an interesting situation, so the Veil offered to help you how we could as a thank you. Not a lot we can do right now, but we can do something. So that was the decision, or at least that's how it came to me. And so I began working on these little bands that you will need to claim your reward. As for the task itself, I'm afraid you'll have to go and speak with the Brightscale family themselves. They will probably want to inform you. And she'll
Okay.
begin pouring out some small cups of tea, handing them over.
So I know time in the Vale passes different, but how long have you been here?
I left the one and the rest of the family somewhere around a decade ago. Maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less, but around about there.
And what brought you to the Vale? Did you hear the music?
She nods. Most of the time the Veil finds you. Your arrival was talked about for quite a while by quite a lot of individuals, and rumor has it that even Nevin had a hand in this decision, which is quite the honor.
Nevin? Have I heard of Nevin?
You can roll a history check if you'd like.
I hear I am proficient in that. And one day my character sheet will load because I forgot to load it already.
That's all right.
History. There we go. Nope. No clue. I
Okay.
rolled an 8.
Yeah.
No idea.
The name
No.
doesn't sound familiar at all to you. It doesn't ping any particular memories. And as she says that, she turns and she clocks you, Oren, for a moment. There's a little smile that stretches across her face. She... Ah. Well, that is awfully interesting. Tell me, how is Kylera doing these days?
Oh, well, quite well, I believe. You know her?
I met her, oh, a long time ago now. Um, Nothing particularly long. She was under my tutelage for probably just a few months as she traveled. I believe that's before she decided to settle somewhere.
Yeah, it was the Volcano Faith, out in Zenri. It's kind of where she took root.
Ah. Well, if I ever find myself back into your world, I'll have to go and pay her a visit.
I'm not sure where she is at the moment. Her and Sisby and Saya have started to gather forces. As to what end, I'm not quite sure.
I see.
But
Yeah, our worlds are a little dangerous right now. I don't recommend taking a vacation yet.
Well, I suppose it was only a matter of time before things got volatile again. She seems really just kind of chill about the whole situation. She's got this very kind of calm and quite smiley demeanor about her. She nods and just, well, if you see her before I do, send her my greetings, please.
I certainly will.
Wonderful.
By the way, your granddaughter is an amazing cleric.
She pulls the one in for kind of a side hug. And just, she absolutely is.
But she needs to loosen up and let people give her hugs when she needs them.
Nene kind of turns towards you. Just, is that right?
She is very, I don't want to say standoffish, but very self-contained. And we can all tell that, she needs to relax a little. So this trip to the Vale is great. But yes, she is very driven.
There's a little mischievous smile that comes across her face. She just, well, driven probably would have come from me. Speaking of which, I hope you don't mind. And she kind of turns back towards the one. I hope you don't mind me claiming you for a little while here, but I would love to catch up before you continue off with your friends here. And as for the rest of you, go ahead and seek out the Bright Scale family, and they'll let you know what Naui needs.
Okay, we will. Thank you for the tea. And Mara gets up and...
You're most welcome. Feel free to take it with you. The cups will find their way back to me eventually.
Thank you.
On a more serious note, thank you for bringing someone very dear to me back into my life for a little while.
I don't know necessarily that we did that, but you're welcome.
Yeah, you might want to thank Naui, I guess.
Or Gwendolyn. I mean, Gwendolyn brought us here.
I will extend my thanks to them also.
We're just kind of along for the ride.
It's not a bad place to be. Seeds become along for the ride when they attach to animals and find a new place to nest.
Mm-hmm.
Never a bad thing. All right. That's enough of me being philosophical. Time to talk. Good day to you. I hope I catch you again soon.
Have fun.
She'll smile and just turn to Dewan and just, now about that bag, how well have you been taking care of it? I'm going to have to go ahead and make sure that everything on this checklist is ship-shape. And she just has the biggest smile on her face as she's talking to Dewan. Dewan immediately starts like searching through her bag to check off sections of the checklist as they go and as you begin to leave.
Let's go find the bright scales, I guess.
Well, we know where Gwendolyn is. We could go ask her.
She probably knows where to find them. Of course, in this place, it's kind of easy to find things. You just kind of walk.
We could do that as well.
Let's see what Gwendolyn has to say. Kind of start heading back.
Mm-hmm. And you pass a few more interesting individuals. Just, oh, excuse me. Just individuals from planes that you don't really expect to be represented, perhaps in some way that is quite fayish. You continue on. Just past this little selection of houses here, and Gwendolyn is waiting where they pointed out that they would. And as they see you approaching, they'll kind of wave you down. Just, oh, doing all right then. Good. I was just having a brief chat with some folks, and I think I know where I need to take you now. Is there anything else, any other questions or queries that you need to know before we head off?
Is there anything that we need for this meeting or that we should prepare for?
I doubt it. Just a quick discussion, and whatever this task may be, I'm not entirely sure. Should be relatively easy to accomplish.
Well, if you notice, one of our party is occupied right now. Apparently, she ran into her grandmother.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And they're going to be a while. Do we need her for this meeting?
Not for the meeting, per se. It's just a quick discussion, depending on how long your friend is preoccupied. Well, I suppose someone else could...
returning here?
You could definitely return here, yes.
Okay.
The veil is open to all, so...
Right, but the veil has a way of taking you where you're needed. Not necessarily where you want to go.
She smiles at you, just like, you got it, you get it. This one gets it.
Okay. I just messaged Dewan telling her we're going off with Gwendolyn and the veil will bring her when she's needed.
Cool. She'll smile at you and turn and just, well then, not too far, just a bit to the north, a bit to the east. I tell you. And she begins walking with these, immediately reaching back into her bag to pull out the little, like, butter candies, and holds them out just as a, if you want one, take one, kind of thing. Just, I tell you, this little situation has just had everyone so very excited and concerned all at the same time. It is all very unusual. The last time this happened was good good few hundred years ago, perhaps more. Perhaps much
Did
more.
that time involve dragon?
Dragon? Dragon. Dragon. Well, I mean, technically, everything in the Vale involves dragon. If Nevin is involved, and unless you're talking about the outside circumstances, what one time was, I believe, about
Wait,
some
Nevin's
kind
a
of
dragon?
draconic. Yes, Nevin is draconic in nature. They are kind of they're kind of the progenitor of the Vale, but also kind of not. A lot of people think that Nevin created the Vale. Other people simply think that Nevin exists in the Vale. There's a lot of theories. All we know is Nevin is Nevin. And they are a stout protector of both the Vale and everyone inside it.
Okay.
Is the veil Nevin's hoard?
I don't think it works like that, but I'm not really a dragon person, so I couldn't really. That's not really what I ever have studied. So I can't. She kind of begins like tripping over her words a little bit, and she's like thinking about this now, and it's kind of like, no. I'm gonna go with no.
Well, we should probably not keep Nevin waiting if that's where we're going.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
You'll just be chatting with the bright scales. Nevin is not a direct influence, I'm afraid. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but they're around.
So you said north and east?
Mm-hmm. So if we continue around and just go to here, and they'll point, and you see a couple of individuals in very light but very sturdy leather armor with what appears to be a decorative green stripe going down across their helmet and all the way down where their spine would be. It continues all the way down to the bottom. And they seem to be carrying, one of them is carrying a bow, the other seems to be carrying a small pouch of like some kind of darts. They seem to be chatting with another individual who is at this table with a small piece of parchment out. They seem to be having a small discussion as his hand moves around. The gentleman is dark-skinned, relatively tall, quite long, kind of long, quite wavy black hair that kind of comes down past their shoulders. They themselves seem to be in a similar kind of leather armor, but without the kind of shoulder pads and everything. They just kind of have their shoulders out, pretty plain. There's a few little scars kind of across both sides here and there. They seem to be wearing this focused but also slightly aloof attitude as they're doing things, kind of like they're just a little bored of what they're doing at the moment. They chat away and he'll just suddenly kind of nod to both, signal backwards, and you watch as both of them nod to each other and then to him. As you're getting a little closer, you just hear, and if we could make sure that things are going to be perfectly all right, then just do what you usually do, yeah? And the other guard kind of talks, and it's just like, I know what I'm gonna do. Don't worry about it. We'll make sure that we're definitely doing things right this time. And the long-haired individual just, all right, look. As long as we can make sure that you're actually sticking to your route this time, then we're gonna be fine. Go. They'll nod. Scoot off. Just, Gwendolyn, please tell me you bring people far more You do. Good time zone.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. I am Mustafa. Mustafa Brightscale. I suppose I'm the closest thing we have to a military leader in the Vale. That's kind of my MO, I suppose.
That's not Naui.
Nami is a very, very talented individual that belongs to our family, but they're not the leader of things. They kind of mumble under their breath a little bit, and trust me, they wouldn't want to be. I am the one who handles the patrol routes, makes sure that the Vale is secure and safe, makes sure that everyone is doing well, makes sure that everyone is trained, makes sure that everyone is supplied. I'm
Are
a
you going
glorified
to supply
dad.
us with something? Is that why we're here?
I'm just here to inform you of what Naui requested to the family. I don't really know how much you know about the Vale, so I'm not gonna complicate things too much. Naui has been chosen for something incredibly important. And for that, she has needed quite a lot of time to get herself prepared, for us to get prepared as well for the entire ceremony. And that's going to be probably a while out at this point. Mainly because of what I'm about to tell you. There is a little shortage we've had of a certain kind of plant. It's used as quite an important ingredient for a section of the ceremony, and we don't actually have enough right now. Unfortunately, most of our botanists and our flower experts are otherwise engaged at the moment. That and the ritual of these plants being taken kind of involves someone who is close to the individual in question. So now we suggested you. She said that you were the closest people she knew right now, and that she cared about you very much, so you were the ones that were contacted. We had to have a good long discussion with a lot of the people that look after the Vale, and even Nevin's powers stepped in for a moment, and, well, here you are. I realize we need you to collect a plant isn't exactly the quest you might have expected, and I apologize for that. But that's how it goes in the Vale.
And where are we getting it? The plant?
Well, you walk in a direction, and it'll appear eventually.
And what kind of plant is this?
You'll be looking for trying to think. Judging by what Naui has said, you come from the regular plane, so okay. So I'm not really magic-y or planty as sorts. Imagine a pine cone. But instead of the cone itself, it's like 3 times larger and made of almost like a scaly layering instead of a regular layering.
So we walk in any particular direction to looking for a pine cone that we will find if we just continue to walk in a certain direction.
Yes. The veil will show you it eventually.
And what are these strips for? We were told we need these.
You will need to... That'll be for once things are done. We didn't want to just ask you for something, ask you for labor, for your time, especially considering how busy and soon to be important you're going to be. So, we wanted to give you something back. You'll need to have a chat with someone else for that. You'll need to have a chat with Leventus, but he'll be fine. I'm sure he'll be fine with it.
Okay, so we're gonna walk and we're gonna look for something that looks possibly like a dragon's egg, but is really a plant, and we're bringing it back here. Where are we taking it?
I mean, I don't exactly know if it looks like a dragon's egg.
I mean, you said it's
It's
pine cone with scales. It's a dragon's egg.
I suppose.
I'm 100% seeing like Game of Thrones dragon egg in my mind.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
That's fair. all right. Let's go with that. All right. You grab that and bring it back. Walk in a random direction, and the veil will bring you home. It's what's required, so the veil's gonna take you where you need. I definitely make sure that you're prepared first, though. I don't know whether the veil is gonna see to test you in any matter, so.
Test us
Special
how?
handling of these eggs? Like, are they hot to the touch?
They're scaly.
Dripped in
so-
acid? What?
No. Do you tend to handle things that are dripped in acid?
Yes.
Okay.
We've had our share.
Right. No, it's just a plant. It's
Okay.
just a plant. The veil
Any
might-
particular creatures guarding the plant or anything like that?
If the veil chooses to test you, you may end up facing some kind of creatures. I couldn't tell you what exactly. The veil is the veil knows what's going to challenge you, what you need.
Any special handling instructions, like needs to be delivered within 24 hours or it expires? Anything like that?
Please don't break it. Please don't set it on fire. Please don't. Your standard stuff, really.
Is it
How many do you
okay
need?
to be
Oh,
put
don't set it on fire, damn.
inside of a bag of holding?
Any magical items you have should be absolutely fine. It's just a plant.
Okay, well, we've had problems.
It sounds like you've been through a lot, and I'm really sorry about that.
Well, we still have a lot more to do. So how many? Just one?
Just one is more than sufficient. They're pretty big, so one is more than enough. And there's no other individuals that are being brought up. It's just Snowy.
Okay, then is there somewhere we can take a rest before we go looking for these things that we may have to battle something to find?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and head back the way you came. Just pick an empty hut. If it doesn't look like it's owned, go for it.
Oh, okay, well, thank you. And it was nice to meet you.
You are very welcome. And kind of looks to the sides, just never mind. It's been a pleasure.
Right then.
We're gonna go rest.
Yes,
Let's take a wee nap.
I've used several spells
Okay.
since last we rested.
Yes. Let's rest.
Gwendolyn will smile at Mustafa, who kind of slinks back into his work at the table. As Gwendolyn turns around back towards you, there's just a silly smile on her face. Just, oh, wonderful. You can most certainly find your way back now. I'm sorry for all the rushed and nonsensical. Things are very different in the Vale. Very, very different.
Okay.
She'll nod and begin to walk away. She kind of whispers down to you and just... Mustafa is a wonderful gentleman, but my god, he is bored. He really wants to go with you, but he knows that he has his responsibilities.
Well, if he ever gets that bored, he can always come visit us at Stonehaven. Believe me, there's enough crap going on there last in a lifetime.
What do you all
Never
do
be
for
bored
fun
again.
here? If people get bored.
It's more... You know the stories in old books where someone who's been fighting for a long time finally stops fighting and instead helps train other people and becomes the mentor? Mustafa doesn't like being the... Well, no, that's a bit harsh. He enjoys being the mentor, but also he would much rather be away from the planning and the paperwork himself.
Mm.
He's doing good work and he knows it, but he's a little, perhaps just the slightest bit jaded.
He's just more of a front lines kind of guy.
Restless.
Restless. That's a good way of doing it. Yes, he'd rather be in the scrap rather than directing how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that quite well.
Mara nods to Orin because they both basically left home for the same reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, yep. Yep.
I get that.
He's a good lad. Very good lad. As for things for fun, I mean, that depends on what you see as fun, I guess. Escapades into the Vale are always enjoyable. Perhaps not for someone of my age, but we have multiple meetings and gatherings. We play games with each other. We do all sorts.
Is there any magic here that would condense my rest so that I'm fully rested in a shorter amount of time? Or is there nothing like that because you go when and where you're needed?
She just nods at the second part.
Yeah.
Little like finger waggle.
Well, I don't know necessarily if we're on a timeline right now, really, are we?
I don't think that time really matters here.
So we could just rest fully, right?
You have a few days. Like, you definitely have a few days in normal time to prepare before the Queen said they were gonna get things sorted and get you on the way. So, like, you got time. Even in normal world time, you got time.
Mm-hmm. So we can
Well,
just rest?
Yeah, Mara, if you want to take a little nap, let's find a hut. claim some squatters' rights.
Sure,
Rest
sure.
for
Let's
8 hours.
find a hut. Yes. Mara needs a full year. It's been a day. We did a lot.
Mhm.
We went and saw the queen, went and made some plans, came here, did some other stuff.
Swimming, shopping, talking.
Yeah.
Let's eat first.
been-
So let's think about food. Mara thinks about a meal.
It's been a bit of a time so far. Yeah, you've had an interesting day.
I'm eating right now.
I've been eating this whole time.
That's my secret. I'm always eating.
Jacaranda is fully rested.
Uh,
Jacaranda is energized at this point.
Right.
Okay. You can head back the way you came, and now that you're looking at some of these huts a little bit closer, some of them seem to have a small blue marking on the left-hand side. The blue marking shows that they are currently being resided in, and those without a marking are all empty. And there's plenty of huts here, both occupied and empty, so you can head into whichever you'd like. And if you would like to find some food, you most certainly can. There's plenty of people in the Vale who will look after people.
Yeah, we start walking. Mara's thinking of food, and then the veil provides.
The Vale provides. Good lord. Yeah, you can 100% do that. Excuse me. You find that there are multiple individuals that are kind of looking out for things that aren't just the kind of things you've already seen, like the people creating the outfits and the warriors and things like that. There seems to be a small collection of individuals who are off to the far side, who seem to have set up this little farming area. You see that there are multiple chefs in that area as well. Well, chefs is perhaps a bit of a stretch, but individuals cooking. And it almost seems to just be a step up and take what you want kind of thing. The farmers will farm whatever. The cooks will cook up a multitude of different kinds of meals, and then they'll just put it out almost in like a sushi bar layout, just along these long tables. And people will just walk up when they're hungry. Just come and grab them. So yeah, you can wander over and grab whatever takes your fancy.
Mara, go find something. Probably stew and bread. That's her go-to. Stew and bread.
Plenty of that around.
And she makes sure she grabs fish for Shikari.
Cool.
She doesn't know what the hunting's like or if he should hunt, so
That's fair. Grab some stuff for yourselves, and the huts that you find are pretty standard, pretty quaint. Kind of the same thing that you saw in Thistle's room, plus a bed. Small little selections of desks and chairs and storage spaces. That's all it really is. Is there anything that anyone would like to do before you go ahead and tuck in and take a rest here?
Good.
Okay.
Jack, have a great night.
I will probably just I'll sleep outside, which isn't actually sleeping, but it's my rest. So I'll keep watch, I guess, outside the hut.
Yeah. You must certainly
Shikari will probably hang outside with you.
Okay.
Certainly can.
Is it
And
weird to like take root here? Like different?
no one seems to be fussed. No one's
Well, I
giving you
mean
weird
like
looks or anything.
the
Like,
experience of like being
Ah, that's
rooted
what
and
you
like
mean.
learning things.
Yeah, okay. So, you go ahead and do your usual routine. Get yourself ready to rest and get yourself into that state. You open yourself up back into that communication again. And the trees and plants around you will continue to talk. But it's very, almost a little overwhelming. For the first time, you're actually having to, like, tell the natural world around you to slow down for a second while you take notes. Like, it's that kind of feeling. You're being bombarded with a lot of information. It's not, like, unpleasant. It's not a bad thing. It's just a lot of people talking at once. A lot of cooks in the kitchen, so to speak. And you find yourself hearing stories that you've never heard before. Stories that you haven't ever picked up from anyone. You're hearing stories about the before times, essentially, before history was recorded, when the world decided that it hated its history and instead it was going to start again. It was going to start it better this time, and it was going to work towards a better world, and the people of Vega actually going ahead and realizing everything they had done wrong and working towards bettering that, unifying under singular banners and creating new cities and new places to rest and learn and play and live. There's stories about that kind of era, which isn't really written anywhere in the real world. It's just this weird warmth to it. This weird sense of learning something that you think you might be one of the only people to know. And to know how that worked. The stories that continue back further during the night as you do so. I would like you to roll a d20 for me.
Just without adding anything.
Just a d20.
16.
16. Okay. You feel a little better after spending some time here. Just a little more in the know, a little more at peace, a little more. You found some camaraderie with the area. You realize that there's a lot of sources that you can pull from. Now that you've heard all of these voices speaking, you realize there's a lot of sources that you can pull from and use as tools to further your own knowledge and understanding. From now on, as long as your next long rest is in the Vale, so to speak, so until your next long rest, all knowledge-related rolls you'll take an advantage. So
Nice.
history, nature,
Awesome.
etc. And then if you rest again here, then until your next long rest, it'll carry on.
Nice.
And you notice, the only other thing I guess you'd notice is the Veil never stops being active. The entire time you're here and you're resting over this 7-8 hours, there's still people wandering. There's still people walking. You see individuals going about their business. You see a few more skeletons doing their own thing. A few more kind of angelic creatures. A few more demonic entities. You know, like a lot of other planar creatures as well. As your regular kind of dwarves and gnomes and humans. The whole Vale seems to be in this symbiosis with itself. It never really sleeps. It's strange. I think that's it in terms of unique things.
Is it like does the sun go down, or is it like a constant twilight, or like what's the?
It's a constant state of twilight. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Sun never really goes down. It never really properly goes up either.
Okay. Cool.
In fact, there doesn't really seem to be a sun. It's just a constant
It's just
glow
light.
through the canopy.
Yeah. Very cool.
I guess it's also a little strange to not look up and see the blackness of the sky, and not really to see stars either. It's just this warm kind of greenish glow, almost. You can all go ahead and log down your long rests. Low rests? Long rests.
Low
There we go. Low rests, yes.
That's what I
Your
got
low
last night was low rest.
And your sleep goes by peacefully, calmly. You find yourselves just in a state of serenity as you do so. You wake up to find that your hut has been entered already. You see on the table a small spread of various different kinds of food and drink. No one inside. Just the items having been left for you. There also seems to be a fresh change of relatively plain white thread clothes. That was something you wanted. You imagine this is kind of what they do to every guest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mara's gonna armor up this time. Especially knowing that Nevin's a dragon.
Well, after breakfast, which direction shall we travel in?
I just point away.
We follow
That's as
Jack
good as
Randall's
any.
lead.
That's as good as any.
We're going this way.
Amazing. As you're stepping out and passing past the border, there we go, border of this territory. Can someone roll me a d4? Anyone?
Alrighty. 3.
It's all
Okay.
your fault.
Whatever happens.
Okay, cool.
Yep,
So
I'm good with that.
you exit out. You leave the town, I suppose, behind you. You continue along a little pathway, and you can see a few different sections of buildings. Some of them just being like quaint little bits of farmland. Some of them being watchtowers of sorts, but they're very strange. The towers themselves are actually like attached to the tree and use the tree as sections of the vertical climb. They seem to almost spread through the treetops. These little guard posts of sorts. You look up, like across this this kind of rope and wooden bridge. You see an older dwarfish lady with a spear, and then what appears to be a little, probably like a 3 foot high buttercup. Just a buttercup with
Like a flower?
yeah, just this just buttercup, this like little orange spread out head, yellow rather spread out head, with that little stem section that kind of comes out to roots that kind of mimic feet. There's 2 little leaves, and one of the leaves seems to be clutching around this small hand crossbow of sorts. And they're up there, just hanging out. And as you kind of pass underneath, they'll give you a wave. The little buttercup waves its little, its other little leaf section. You can continue under and on your way.
Does this look like another Enkaima or like just some
Yes.
kind of animated plant? Okay.
No, this is another Enkaima. Most
Okay.
certainly another Enkaima. Yeah. Animated plants can't use weaponry. So
So it seems like this is a hotspot for Enkaima.
It does.
Certainly, I mean, it makes sense. I would think. It's very, very magical here, you know?
It does feel nice to be here, and even resting here was it felt extra special.
I got quite a good
Why
rest as
does
well.
the Enkaima have a bow? Why is it armed?
I hold up my.
Because this is the
Please.
first person we've seen armed, right? Like, even Mustafar wasn't armed.
Mustafa wasn't armed. The guards that he was speaking to were, but they were super basic. One of them had a bow, the other one had like a pouch of javelins. That's it. Pretty much everyone else in the Vale that you've seen so far isn't armed. It's only these people on the outskirts in this guard post that are armed.
And us.
And you. Yeah, you were literally like the most militarized force the Vale has seen in quite some time. Like Mustafa and what you've picked up from Nawi as well, like there are certain individuals who are trained and keep the peace and act as act as the Vale's military force. They're more like peacekeepers, realistically. But yeah, those guards and these people are the only people so far you've seen who are armed.
Okay. So we passed Buttercup.
Yeah, I mean, they're just protecting the border, right?
That seems to be the only guard that we've seen.
Must be powerful.
You continue on. The Vale seems to change around you quite a lot. You see a lot of different plants, a lot of different trees, a lot of different flora and fauna from places you recognize and places you don't. Same as on the way here. It seems to be more and more variable now, almost as if the nature of the Vale seems to be opening itself up to you a little more the longer you stay here. There's a little bit of time you see a few creatures kind of jumping between the trees above here and there. You all get that urge to blink as you kind of subconsciously all do so in unison. You find yourselves opening out to a very misty area. You see a small kind of crevice opening into a section of stone that seems to climb up past wherever this mist is. The closer you get to it, the thicker this mist seems to become.
Not this again. So there's a crevice.
Yep.
Like,
Just a quite wide.
like a crevice, like where we went in to see Harmony. There was a crevice. So Harmony's crevice. Oh wait,
Don't say that.
Somewhere.
Not like that.
Yes, you
And we're
that
back.
kind of show.
And we're back. God damn it. Alright. So the section of stone that was broken inside of the cave was very clearly man-made and was covered up by the vines that continued through. This is a natural crevice. This is a relatively large opening. It's not massively narrow. It's just a large opening between two huge pieces of stone that seems to have eroded away over time. In fact, there's even still some like liquid residue on the on little sections of the stone here and there, like a little section of limestone and things like that.
Is it the Rejuvi smoothie? Is it the same
Would you
material?
Like to take a look?
Sure, yeah, I'll check
Like
it
to
out.
take a little taste?
No, I'm not tasting things anymore.
Okay. You go
I
ahead.
learned my lesson with the black powder.
How will you know if
It
you
was
don't
bodies.
taste it? Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like water.
Oh, it's water. Okay.
Just seems like
Natural water.
yeah, I guess like a heavy rain had once swept the area relatively recently. I guess that's the best way. And like it's mostly dry, but there's still little patches of rain section.
Okay.
It does smell quite like rainwater as well, so just seems to be rain.
Okay. Well,
We're supposed to just keep going, right?
I feel like this is probably.
Why
where
did
we find
Jacaranda
it.
turn into Mickey Mouse?
It turned into a very high pitch. This is where we're supposed to be going, right? Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we're just supposed to look for this scaly pine cone.
Thingy, so yeah.
Okay, let's just keep.
How's the light in the crevice?
Seems to be just regular light. It's just this this mist that's making things difficult. But there's still like this greenish glow. It's not any darker.
Okay, so it's not like without dark vision, I'm being
No.
blind or anything like that. Okay.
No.
So yeah, I don't kind of go ahead and go in, but like cautiously.
Yeah,
I just
One
walk
like-
in. I'm not being cautious.
fair. And it's this gap is pretty wide. Like you can all head through no issues. There's no like squeezing around or anything. It's pretty substantial. You continue through, and the smell of rainwater now begins to permeate through everywhere in this area. You see a distinct lack of plants in this zone. No random cave plants, no moss, nothing like that. And there also doesn't seem to be anything above you. You don't seem to be in any cave or cavern. It just seems to be a huge split in the rock. You continue a little forwards, and who is going to be taking point here?
I mean, I guess I will.
Wonderful. If you could make me a perception check, please.
Okay. And then I'll use the you said like a D6.
You got a D6 from last time.
From the what? The water? I guess.
Yeah. From just resting in there, from just being in the veil, I guess.
And what was it? Perception?
Perception, please.
Where is my perception? There it is. Ooh, +9.
Damn.
22.
Damn.
22.
All right, sweet. You continue on for a little while, and there's a sudden strong current of wind that kind of blows past you all and behind and through where you had just stepped.
Mhm.
The mist clears just slightly, just enough, Jacaranda, for you to notice that the path you're walking on ends quite abruptly in about 5 paces.
I'll like mom seatbelt arm to keep anybody
Orin's
from...
not really paying attention. He's gonna walk directly into your arms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's assume, hopefully, that she put one arm down.
Down.
Because otherwise,
Yes.
It just walks
right
straight
under your
under
arm.
it.
Right
Yeah.
under my arm.
Hold on.
Yeah, one arm down, one arm out.
Amazing stuff.
So the path ends just about here. Like, make sure Orin doesn't keep walking.
Yeah. He'll stop.
Do we see anything, like anywhere to go otherwise if the path stops?
The fog around you has begun to clear a little as you've now stopped towards the edge. You can see a small rope bridge on your left-hand side. As the fog begins to clear more in front of you, you see this huge open landscape of these massive vertical pillars and plateaus of stone scattered throughout this sea of mist below. Looking over the edge, you're unable to see the bottom before the mist obscures your vision. You can see these large natural structures almost, with plants and flowers growing on top and around them as well. There seem to be a few smaller creatures traversing this area, mostly creatures that have some kind of wings or flight mechanism one way or another. And there are multiple glowing colours of these large pillars. Just little blobs almost, I guess. Kind of like seeing a firefly through the mist.
Mm-hmm.
Just those small luminous orbs that seem to be just floating around in the mist itself. It's strangely pretty. The wind continues to blow around you and through both the section behind you and through a lot of these pillars in front of you. The pillars themselves seem to be relatively spread out. You can see small rope bridges connecting some of them, and others are just unconnected at all.
Is there a direction that the wind is coming from, like specifically?
Seems to be blowing from the east.
And then, so it's like the walkway ends, and then it would just be like a nothing to the east.
Yeah, there is literally, like, other than seeing these towers, the pathway stops and it's just a dead drop. So the wind is just
There's
kind
the
of blowing
bridges, the like
to
rope
you.
bridges.
The first bridge is to the left, and then the other bridges are connecting the towers in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
Towers.
So we
are
can
just
go across
stone.
that rope bridge. If...
Yes.
Okay,
Bye.
Jacaranda, we're gonna
But
have
also-
to trust your good vibes because
Check.
You certainly could.
I kind of want to climb on the wall to see what's down first.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So I'll you both wait here and I will see what's below. And then like crawl over the edge. Spider climb down.
All right. Crawl your way over. Now that you're at 90 degrees, you dig your roots in and begin to move. You go down 30 foot. The mist clears. Some more mist. Continue down another 30 foot. More mist. Another. More mist.
Okay, I'm going back up then. I don't want to get too far. So there's just a lot of mist down there. So I guess we will be taking the bridge.
All right, let's just be careful then.
So I'll start our trek. Or maybe Orin, your lighter, if you want to.
I can take the forefront. That's fine. Yeah, it'll kind of go forward.
Wait. Mara takes out a rope. It around Orin's waist.
Oh, good idea.
Ties it around her and ties it around Jacaranda. There.
Good idea. Good thinking. All right. Yeah, and they'll trek forward across the bridge.
Okay. You continue across, and contrary to maybe your first assumption, this thing is sturdy. This thing is incredibly sturdy, and as you step across, it almost feels like you're stepping on like just a regular flat like stone surface. This thing barely moves under any of your weights.
This is the sturdiest rope bridge I have ever seen in my life. Mike jumps.
You jump. No one else moves with you. It's almost as if you just hit like solid concrete. Nothing else moves. You press
Certainly less frightened. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, go for it.
So he'll just keep on going. He's not as freaked out anymore.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. You cross the rest of this bridge. Only takes a moment or so before you find yourselves on a small plateau. There's more of these kind of glowing orbs, and now that you've gotten closer, you can see.
That yous guys.
Now that yous guys have gotten closer, you can see that these are different kinds of firefly. They have different bioluminescent liquids that allow them to create different colors, different shades. A few of them almost seem like your regular bog standard firefly. A few of them seem almost a little spectral in appearance. Kind of create more of these whites and blues and greys rather than the usual brighter colors, but helps the other ones to stand out. There's another rope bridge that you can cross. The rest of this plateau, other than some interesting plants and trees, seems empty. The one thing you do notice is this plateau is just by itself. So it's like a 20 by 20 radius, so to speak. It's not a huge plateau. And other than the two rope bridges, it's a dead drop.
So we should take another rope bridge. Is the air, like the wind that we felt coming from the east, still doing the same thing?
Yeah, seems to still be blowing in the same direction.
And we're traveling in which direction? Are we traveling like with the wind at our back, or
when you were standing where you were, the wind was coming ahead of you, so to the east. You were facing east, and it was coming towards. You've now cut to the side, so it was on your right-hand side for a time, and now this rope bridge is curving back to the east. So if you cross the next bridge, it'll be back in your face.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, I wanna head toward the wind, I think. It's my vibe.
Okay.
We're just following Jacaranda. She's the nature person since Dawan is not here, so.
All right. You continue on, and this next bridge is just as solid and sturdy as the last. You go ahead and step across with absolutely no issues and find yourself on another flat plateau. As you step onto the land for the first time, this slight spark of greenish energy that appears in front of you. More of a kind of a darker, but still quite pure green. There's another little spark. You find the third spark that comes is now a green mixed with more of a black kind of color that also mixes with a white. It's a very weird selection, palette selection. You see the very, very vague silhouette of a woman in front of you. By very vague, you can see that her hair is relatively long. She doesn't really seem to have any facial features, and you can't really see much of her body shape or body type. It's more just the most general of feminine like outlines. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You hear just, "It's always good to see visitors."
Hello?
"Don't mind me. Just seeing how this plays out."
Is this creeping anybody else out?
Yes.
That'll be try to be like whispered.
Okay, well, just go around. And so I just keep walking.
It doesn't stop you in any way. In fact,
Do
as
we-
soon as all three of you kind of walk past
Mm-hmm.
or around, it dissipates, just vanishes.
And we never saw any more of it than that, even like coming closer or going around it.
Deliberately seems to be a very vague image.
Okay, well, that was weird, but we made it through.
Wait. Yep. I feel like that's gonna come back and bite us in the ass somewhere.
If we see it again, what should we do? Just so we know.
I don't really know. I mean, technically, I can punch ghosts.
Was it a ghost? Should we punch it? It seemed
I guess-
nice.
Listen, there are lots of different type of beings who live in the Vale,
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
and
Skeletons.
this
Yeah,
may
they were
just be
friendly.
one of those beings. And as far as I can tell, they did us no harm, so we should just continue on our mission.
Let's go.
Okay, we'll keep moving, and I will follow your leads if we see another apparition. So I'll keep walking that way.
Third bridge, same as the last. Cross over to the next plateau, which seems to be a little different this time. A collection of all pink flowers and flora that seems to be scattered across the floor, mixed with these large blossom trees that seem to surround a portion of the perimeter of the plateau. There's another bridge that continues on, and a spark of this greenish energy again as the vague silhouette appears again. Just, what do you want?
We're looking for some type of plant. Some type of pine cone.
Not
Seedling.
really a pine cone. It's bigger
It
than a
looks
pine
like
cone.
a pine cone.
It's
But with
scaled.
scales.
There's a sharp, kind of a giggle that comes out of her mouth. The silhouette vanishes.
Okay. Well, keep walking.
The next bridge seems a little shakier. Not massively so, not worryingly, but noticeably. Still seems solid and firm, but just a little... You're getting a little more movement out of your footsteps now than you were before. The next plateau comes out to almost a little meadow on like a 40 by 40 rock. This meadow of what appears to be heather plants of various different colors, all scattered. Scattered across the stone, but like lined up neatly in and of themselves, almost as if someone put them here deliberately rather than them naturally growing here. There's another spark. I didn't ask what you were doing here. I asked what you want.
Well, world peace, but that's not going to happen right now. So we're going to just keep going.
Well, the
We want
other
to
thing that
help
we
our
want,
friend.
you want the object we mentioned that looks like a pine cone.
That'll help our friend.
The image scatters again.
Should we just wait here for it to come back? Or do you think it's every one that we pass it appears? What do you want to do?
I'm not sure. But I think we should continue pressing on, I think.
Okay.
I agree.
So we keep walking.
Can we even see where we began?
No. No, the area behind you is just nothing but mist at this point. You can see the rope bridge that you just passed, but not the beginning, no.
Mm-hmm.
You continue on. Cross another rope bridge. Again, seems a little more rickety. There's these two large stone pillars on either side of you now that almost seem to stand sentinel where they are. You open out into another one of these flat, rocky areas. This time, no plants, just the stone itself, covered with sections of sand and dirt. The apparition appears before you once more, but a little more detailed this time. You see a tall woman, probably about 6'4", very slender, with these very delicate kind of micro movements, as it were. This long white hair that comes down very far down her back. She seems to be unnaturally pretty. Like everything's just a bit too symmetrical. It's that kind of, that almost vampiric kind of like, you are so attractive, it's actually kind of weird, and it's making me feel uncomfortable. It's very much that, like, yeah, it almost feels like it's a spell of some kind, but it's not. It's just how she is, how she looks. And there's another smile that stretches across her face. Just, well, helping friends, that's a good cause. But how do you want to help yourself? What are you aiming for?
Who are you?
Just a
What
bystander.
is your name?
What is your
What
quest?
is your quest?
Just an intrigued bystander.
What do you want?
To ask questions.
Okay, you're doing a good job. Mara heads off
Keeps walking.
and keeps walking.
The apparition vanishes. Ahead of you now, across this bridge, you see some more faint glows ahead of you through the mist itself. These ones will seem to be various different shades of blue and yellow and green, specifically. Walking forwards, the rope bridge seems stable enough. You cross, no issues. Find yourself now in a very small section. You see these 3 large open plants, almost like flat sunflowers, I suppose, with that kind of collection of petals around the side, and then where it has very clearly opened up from something. And inside the center of this is, well, 1 for each plant, 3 separate, strange, ovular-shaped plants. There is a blue one, there is a yellow one, there's a green one.
Anyone remember what Nolly's favorite color is?
I want to say green, but I don't remember.
Mara knows this because she asked, but I don't remember.
Oh no.
Because she was getting flowers for
Mhm.
Eridan, so she asked everyone their favorite color.
That's right.
So that she would be able to get Eridan's favorite color flower, but not let on that that's what she was doing.
Right. Oh, shoot. I don't think I wrote it down.
The apparition appears before you.
I want to say red, though, because her dragon mask, isn't it red?
I feel like I wrote it down, but I don't know where it is.
So you said there's blue, green, and red. Is that the 3 colors you said?
Blue, green, and yellow.
Yellow. No idea.
It's just these 3 plants and the apparition that has appeared before you again. And now lean back, just tap on one of these large plants. Just. So are these what you seek?
I believe so, but I'm not sure.
Do they look scaly?
Roll a nature check for me.
$12.
Okay. They look pretty chitinous. You could probably you can see where they came from with the whole scaly side of things.
Can you talk to them, Jacaranda, and find out if they're used for some kind of transformation ritual?
Sure. Hello, friends. How often do people visit you, and do they use your in rituals?
Are you speaking to one in particular, or are you just addressing all of them?
Oh, just addressing all of them.
Okay. There's a stunned silence, as you are probably familiar with at this point when it comes to certain plants that don't expect a conversation. And then you hear one of them. Hey. Sorry, I wasn't listening to that. What was the thing you said with the things, the stuff, and the words?
How often do people visit you? And are you or your kind used in rituals here?
Yeah.
You are.
I
Do you
came
know
upon a tree.
which one? Which one of you would want to be used in a ritual?
I think we're all friends here. We all hang out and do stuff together, and people come for us now and then. Not often. We don't usually get visitors.
So none of you want to go to be used in a ritual because you're all friends, or
I mean, this is the plant talking, and you just take the seeds. It's like a load off, you know?
okay. Would any of you like to donate your seed? Oh gosh, that sounds horrible.
Great, now I have to put
no.
X-rated on this.
I like these high school adventurers. They stay the same age. And I just keep
Oh
getting
no.
older.
Gosh. Like literally though, their seeds.
We're all immature. Well, like, if you wanna, we don't have any use for them, so yeah.
Should we just take all of them? How long does it take for you to get more seeds?
A while.
Ask if the seeds have different properties.
Do you have different properties for your colors?
Yeah, like one's blue, one's yellow, my one's green.
And does it have any difference beyond that?
I don't know, man. It's other people that use them. We're just here. We're just vibe. We're just here.
Mara's gonna try to send to Musafar to find out what color we need.
Good idea.
Just forward, just. Hey, wait. All right, it's been a while. Sure. Forgotten already. Green. You need the green one. The green one's what you need. The green one's what we need for Nami's thing.
Okay.
I passed that on.
I think that was
Green.
25.
We need green.
Okay, thank you, Green, for your contribution. And take the green seed.
Yeah. No worries. No worries. You can grab this this large kind of. Now that you've picked it up out of its bed, it definitely looks more kind of pinecone shaped. Lying down, it kind of looked more of an oval. It's surprisingly heavy. Not massively so. Like you can still carry it, It's fine, but it's got a heft to it.
And Mara's going to say, you would think a military leader would be more detail-oriented.
Yeah, I feel like this is something we probably should have known before we came, but I'm very glad you are able to send messages.
That was quite helpful.
I'm glad it worked, because I wasn't sure, because this plane isn't all there. It does what it wants.
Should we put it in the bag of holding? Or just keep it out?
Well, since none of us have the bag of holding,
I think
right.
Dewan has it.
I'm gonna say
okay.
we'll just put it in this pouch.
Okay. Put it in that
just,
pouch.
Just carry it.
Okay, well, let's try to make our way back across all the bridges.
Well, we'll just think really hard, and then we should wind up back at the settlement, right? Think really hard and blink.
Have to move.
Think really
Is it?
hard and blink.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
Want to try that?
I mean, this plateau's big enough for us to walk across it, think really hard and blink, and we should be at the settlement. Or at Musafar.
Worth a shot.
Okay, I'll follow you.
Okay, Mara is going to picture Musafar in her mind.
Okay, you picture Mustafa in your mind.
Same.
And walk.
Yep.
And blink.
Walk and blink
And blink.
and find yourself exactly where you were beforehand.
Fine, Vale. Don't make it easy or anything.
You get a wry little smile from the apparition who stands there still.
Well, we're going now. Hopefully we gave you enough entertainment. And she walks across the bridge we came across.
Bye. I hope you ask more questions soon.
They lift up a hand with quite long green nails and just give a little wave with their fingers. Or clasping both their hands together. The illusion scatters.
Of course it does. 'Cause glamour.
You continue back the way you came.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully, everything seems fine as you're traveling across. The rope bridges remain as sturdy as ever. The wind doesn't pick up. You seem fine. As you get to the edge and begin to make your way through the crevice that you entered into, you find yourself opening out into a completely different area than you were beforehand. This large, open, almost like a savanna area, I suppose, is probably the closest comparison. This wide open space with very sparse amount of trees, just dotted a little here and there. Very flat land and this quite long grass that seems to cover huge sections of this land before you. You blink, turn around to find the way that you had come is no longer there. And these certainly aren't like savanna-esque with like quite dry grass. This is still like your usual like verdant green coloring across the area here. It's far, far larger than a clearing. You notice above you that the canopy is now gone. Instead, it's just this misty overhang with the same kind of greenish glow as you've seen beforehand.
Listen, I didn't blink, Vale. I didn't blink. I guess we just pick a direction and head that way, and it'll
Okay.
get us where we need to.
How about, why don't you pick this direction? Or one of you. Whichever one of you.
Mara's like,
I
just
guess-
heads off.
Yeah.
Mara just like, follow me.
Turn and walk. Okay, we're following.
Okay. You walk and walk.
Well, we're still all
walk.
roped together.
Yeah, we're
True.
yeah, the rope. Either way, we're all
Mhm.
coming.
Yep,
Great.
still roped together. This area seems to radiate the slightest sense of discomfort in comparison to the areas that you've been before. Mainly because you don't see any creatures at all. No insects, no rodents, no prey animals, no predator animals. There's just nothing in front of you.
Hmm.
You walk for a little while, and the silence is a little off-putting as well. You're probably walking for a good 5 minutes, or you hear a large screech carry across the winds. It seems to echo.
Can we tell what direction?
Make a perception check.
Nope. That's 12. I rolled a 3.
All right. You're trying to work out where this is, but it almost seems to be bouncing off of nothing around you. This landscape's so empty, and yet you can hear this sound from multiple different directions. Almost as if you're inside of a snow globe and it's just bouncing along the walls. And there's another one. Another screech. And as you hear this second one, there's a slight overcast that you all sense. The screech now turns into a cry, a call, almost a hunting cry, as it were. As looking up through the mist, you can now see a silhouette above you. This huge avian outline with these large talons on the bottom. It seems to be flying above, getting ready to dive. There's another screech that carries across the winds. And I think we'll wrap there for the evening.
Okay. Giant bird.
Woo.
Thing attacking, or possibly attacking. And welcome in, Raiders.
Right? True Mind in the Martyr fashion.
Ah, yes.
We get raided right in the end.
Always. Without fail. Thank you so much for popping in, Raiders. It is super appreciated. Hope you're streaming okay. Hope you're doing alright. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and wrap up the session here, but don't worry, we will send the love that you send us elsewhere. Let's go ahead and give everyone a chance to plug what they want to plug. Let's start with Adam.
Hello, I am Adam. You can catch me on the interwebs at Adam Hardy VO. I do the post-production for Mind in the Martyr, so check out the Friends Who Roll Dice YouTube channel. And we also have a podcast version as well. If you like that, we add in extra music and sound effects, which I'm excited to do those little screechies.
Melissa.
Hello, I am Melissa, also known as So Much Geek, SEW Much Geek. I mostly finding stuff on my Twitter is the easiest way to know when things are happening. I've been streaming on my own Twitch channel, which is also So Much Geek. And most recently, I was on a podcast for Iron Edda Reforged. And so we did a puppet string side story that was just recently released. I retweeted it on my Twitter account, so hopefully you'll be able to find it there. That's it from me. See you soon.
Amazing. Rochelle.
Hi, I'm Rochelle, Dragon Gem here on Twitch, the Dragon Gem on Twitter. I stream on my own channel on Sundays and Wednesdays. I play bunches of puzzle games. Right now I'm playing The Last Campfire, which is so pretty. So pretty. But yeah, you should come watch and follow. If you happen to subscribe, I donate all my Twitch funds to local animal shelters in my area. I also have a merch shop that you can get merch, and those funds are also donated to local animal shelters. So that's me.
Amazing. As always, support these wonderful people in what they do. I'm Ray. I'm your GM for the Mind and the Martyr here. You can find me here every Monday doing this. You can find me on Polished Cryptid's channel every Friday, where we are doing the Stygian Shroud, which we're getting towards the end to now. A level 20 rewritten Curse of Strahd sequel, which is pretty fun so far, I must say. Yeah, we're getting towards the end. It's going to be super interesting to see what happens. Other than that, I'm not really doing a whole lot right now, but I plan to be doing a whole lot soon. Life has just been a lot lately, so I'm getting there. Slowly but surely, I'm getting there. As for Friends Who Roll Dice, we have this usual show on the Mondays. We have our Urban Shadows game starting up very soon, which should be some announcements on that shortly. We have the rest of our Hyperlight Drifter series. The last couple of episodes are going to be here. You should definitely catch all of those. They've been split between us and Nomadic. It's been a fantastic series so far. That's on Fridays. And during the weekend, you will also find The Soul's Confidant, which is an Invisible Sun series run by the amazing Murfeather and an incredible cast. So you should definitely go ahead and check all of that out. That being said, I think we are all good here. I've just remembered that I'm doing tech, so I should probably get this ready, huh? We're going to spread the love that you've shown us elsewhere, as well as roll a real quick little credit reel here. Thank you so much for popping by. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. See you soon. Take care. Hydrate. Look after yourselves. Keep moving forward. And we will see you next time. Bye.